Caitlin Clark responds to Napheesa Collier, calling out WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. On Wednesday, Minnesota Lynx star Napheesa Collier sent shockwaves through the sports world when she publicly criticized WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. In her prepared statement, Collier shared a story in which Engelbert dismissed the idea of young stars, such as Caitlin Clark, earning more than standard rookie contracts in the league. Collier also questioned how Engelbert planned to address the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel Reese, and Paige Bueckers, who are clearly generating massive revenue for the league, earned so little during their first 4 years. Engelbert's response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform the WNBA provides, she wouldn't be making anything. Collier added that Engelbert told her players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal I secured for them. Clark's WNBA salary this season was just over $78,000. While she initially declined to comment on the story, she addressed the issue on Thursday during her end-of-season exit interview. First of all, I have great respect for Fee, and I think she made a lot of very valid points. Clark said, people need to understand that we need strong leadership right now, across all levels. This is the most important moment in the history of this league. The WNBA has been around for over 25 years, and this is a time we have to capitalize. Honestly, that's what I would say. Fee said it all, and her points were very valid. Reporter, Caitlin, what's the status of your health right now? Specifically, what injury between the ankle and the groin?
Full health, and I feel like probably over these last couple of weeks is when I've probably started feeling my best. Obviously, my ankle kind of didn't allow me to really see where my groin was at. It was, I think, my second full court workout back when we were in, I don't even know what month that would have been, but I just went to kind of make a move, and unfortunately my ankle like completely rolled all the way forward, and probably one of the worst sprains I've dealt with, but you know, just tried to stay positive best I can, and but I honestly feel like I'm in a really good spot, and you know, people don't always realize, I mean, people that, you know, are kind of in the basketball world, or whether if you're in other sports too, like when you're injured, it's honestly more work than when you're playing. So, you know, I've spent so much time here in this building this season just trying to get healthy and trying to kind of just get back to 100%, and honestly, I think that, you know, if I never was, you know, I obviously played that game in Connecticut, and that's where I kind of felt some more pain in my right groin, and then obviously had some tests and other things done, and you know, there was no decision of like, this is the end of my season. I had full intention of returning, and I think in a way that was probably positive for me, because that's how I approached every single day. I came in here like I was going to play, I was going to get back out on the court, and it probably would have been even more devastating and crushing knowing that I was never going to be able to put my uniform back on for the rest of the season. But you know, you just approach it like every single day, you attack and get better, and it'll be the same for me going forward. Like that work doesn't stop, and you know, I think it's just, I think I've had really good perspective on it all, and that's probably what I'm most proud of too.
Hey Caitlin, good to see you. Obviously there's been a lot kind of going on this week.
What?
You might have heard some things. Wanted to see after Napheesa's comments and what she alleged that Cathy Engelbert had said specifically about you, what your thoughts were on that, and have a follow-up.
Well, I mean, first of all, I have great respect for Fee, and I think she made a lot of very valid points, and you know, I think what people need to understand, you know, we need great leadership in this time across all levels. This is straight up the most important moment in this league's history. What this league's been around for 25 plus years, and this is a moment we have to capitalize on. So that's honestly what I would say. I think there's, you know, Fee said it all with what she said, and you know, I think the points she made were very valid.
Had you heard that story from her before
No.
she said it publicly? And then have you spoken with Cathy Engelbert or heard from her at all since then?
No.
Just with working back the full health, Steph mentioned that it was kind of baby steps and getting back and making sure you don't lose what you worked on the season.
probably take a little bit of a break here, just for maybe a week. I don't really want to lose kind of the stuff I've worked on and just trying to get my body back to full health. There's some USA basketball stuff I need to get ready for. And, I need to be able to find some runs and some ways to play 5-on-5 just so I can kind of get that feel back. And but more than anything, I think my main focus is really just getting my body healthy. And once we get back to 5-on-5, like just being able to test my body and make sure I know it's in a good spot where it's going to be able to hold up with everything that we think we've corrected or we think we've worked on, to be able to know I'm in a really good spot there. And when you go through injuries, especially in my scenario where it's been a few of the reoccurring kind of bouncing around, which isn't necessarily uncommon in my situation just because of compensation, and when you're dealing with things in that groin area, that just is kind of how it can go sometimes. I think it's important that you can become confident in your body again, and that's for anybody that goes through injury. So that's probably going to be my main focus is, just feeling 100% again, and then obviously, having that confidence in my body too.
We'll go to Lou and then to Josh.
Continuing on what Chloe asked, how close are you to that 100% and being able to do the 5-on-5? I don't think we really knew you hadn't played any 5-on-5 on the court.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's probably where people struggle to understand at times, is there is a huge difference in me standing there and shooting spot shots and running up and down. But in a basketball game, like, I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm planting here, oh, I'm cutting, oh, I'm doing this, oh, I'm doing that. Like, you're just doing it. So your muscles need to be able to react and withstand that type of stuff. So that's where the 5-on-5 becomes really critical. And then obviously the contact piece of it too. Like, you don't know where you're going to be taking contact from, but my goal, it was the end of October to kind of be out there and trying to get back to playing 5-on-5, and I think that's a very reasonable thing for me. And I've been grinding as hard as I possibly can, and that's how it's always kind of just been for me. Like, I love the work, I love putting in the work, and it's been difficult not being able to like see the time you put in, being able to put on your jersey and see it pay off. But I think, like I said, I think it's been a really good opportunity for me to learn a lot about myself, and certain lessons that will probably be really important throughout my career as well.
Let's Josh and Brian.
Steph talked about AB just being the rock of this team. I'm just interested how her friendship helped you get through the rough mental times throughout the season.
I mean, I think it's obviously AB's tremendous. Like, we've always had a great relationship, and that's what exactly you need between your post and your point guard. And she's always been somebody that's been there to check in and pick me up. But I think that goes for our entire team, and I think that speaks for our entire season. I don't think it would be, I don't think we would have had the type of success that we had if it wasn't for the friendship or the empathy people showed one another, or the next man up mentality. Like, that was shown across the board in our locker room, whether it was for myself or whether it was for somebody that came in mid-season and got hurt. Like, it was always the same. Like, you always care for your teammates in the same manner. So obviously AB was tremendous in that role, and I think she had an incredible year, but honestly our entire roster really excelled in that area.
With respect to your recovery, looking down the line, have you explored opportunities maybe to play 5-on-5 during the offseason as part of kind of that ramp up so that you're ready for next season to play actual basketball before things start up again in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always explore every opportunity, and I haven't made any decisions, and I don't know what that's necessarily going to look like for me. Like I said, there's some USA basketball stuff that is probably my top priority right now that I need to prepare for, and I think that will help me prepare for next season too. But obviously, then you have to prepare for USA basketball in some manner. So that, there's just a lot of different things you got to figure out and balance, and I'll work through all of that too.
Claire and Elliot.
With field playoff in playoff run, WNBA All-Star, NBA All-Star, are all here at Indy. Tell us what it means to you play here and what makes Indy so special.
Yeah, I mean, this place is incredible, and I think you've heard so many people talk about it over the course of the last few weeks, whether it's the Colts, whether it's Pacers.